course. Okay, today we're talking about ISO. So what is ISO? Well, it's one of the three fundamentals of proper exposure, right? Aperture, shutter speeds, and picking your ISO on a digital camera, or your film speed on a film camera. Okay, so back in the film days, we had we picked our film based on its sensitivity. Okay, so a more sensitive film needed less light, and a less sensitive film needed more light to get a proper exposure. Okay, so you say to yourself, well then why don't you just use the most sensitive film there is? Because there's always trade-offs, right? Okay, most photographers back in the day shot Velvia 50, right? Fuji Velvia 50. Well, 50 ISO is really low, right? Well, the reason for that is because you shoot 400 speed film. Back in the film days, it was grainy. It wasn't very high quality. Your pictures, I mean, you'd get pictures, but they wouldn't be the best quality you could get. The best quality you could get, arguably, was with your lower speed films. Okay? Well, you know what? Guess what? Same thing applies to digital. However, digital's kind of opened things up a little bit, all right? So, if you want the ultimate quality from your digital camera, and you want the best quality photograph you can take, you want to use the native ISO speed of your digital sensor. That's usually about 100. Okay, some older Nikons and other cameras it was 200. Okay, now check this out. In digital, sometimes you have an L setting, a low setting, right, where you can go to 50. Do you know what? Your image is not as good at 50 as it is at 100. Now, why would you go there sometimes? Let's say you're taking a picture of a waterfall. You want a slow shutter speed, right? So you want to lower the sensitivity as much as you can. Okay, so maybe you'll, like on a Canon EOS 5D Mark II, you go down to 50. Okay, the lowest sensitivity you can go to on the K5 is 80. All right, I mean, that's not much. I shoot at 100 if I want the highest quality. Okay, so that's if you want the nth degree of quality, right? But, you know, a few years back, okay, you kind of had to be there, all right? 200 was all right, was starting to get iffy, and 400 was getting iffy, and 800 was ridiculous, okay? Nowadays, that's not really true. I would say from 100 to 400 on a digital camera that's been announced like within the past couple of years, you're going to see a very little difference. Okay, maybe on the newest ones like the D7000 Nikon, T3i, 60D, 5D Mark II, you can go up to 800 on the 5D Mark II, D700, maybe 1600, right? Okay, the full frame gives you a little advantage there. You'd see very little difference from like 100 to 800. Some 1600. There's people out there shooting higher than that and they think it's great. Okay, so for me personally, with the K5, I'll go up to 800. With the 5D Mark II, I would do like 1600 sometimes, but 800 I was comfortable with for sure. And then with yeah, so that's I was comfortable with that, you know, up to about 800. So from 100 to 800 I'd shoot. Okay, if I needed the thing. You get up to 1600, 3200. I mean, if you've got to get the shot, if you're recording like news or something, it's just you got to get the shot. You go there. What do you got to lose? I mean, you're doing your kids' sports. Go up to 3200. Go up to 6400. See what you get. Try it. Your camera might be good enough for what you're doing. Okay? But you're losing quality when you go up. And that's the key, right? So if we want to set our camera up for optimum quality of our images, we want 100 on most of our cameras. Look in the book. You'll find out what the native ISO is. It's usually the lowest regularly picked ISO. You'll see it. So if we want optimum quality, optimum image quality, IQ, we want to go like the native ISO, 100 or 200. Okay, and that's ISO. Pretty straightforward. All right. Optimum image quality is 100. You lose a little bit on a modern camera going up to 800, maybe 1600. But if you got to get the shot, go up to 32, go up to 64. Do it. Try it. It's better than not getting the shot at all. That's ISO. All right. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and we appreciate it. Thanks. That's Ed with Photo Universe. Talk to you later. Bye.